What's going on, guys? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I have kind of a fun knife review for you, or technically two knife reviews for you. I've kind of lumped them together because they're very similar knives, although they're very different in one key aspect. And I say fun review because I don't have a lot of expectations with these knives. They're not practical. Well, not very practical, and one of them is barely even pocketable. Depending on what type of pants you wear, it might not be pocketable at all. I saw these first, I think, in a birdshot video, and they were just kind of so ridiculous that I had to add them to my collection. Definitely not judging them, I guess, by the same standards as what I judge some other knives by. But I really bought them for that kind of fun factor. So I'm talking about the Kansept Mini and XL Korvid. So there is no in-between size. There is the ridiculously small Mini Korvid and the ridiculously large XL. So these are pretty much the exact same knife with a couple small differences, which are mainly just cut because the Mini can't fit some of the features that the XL has. So the first thing that you see is these grooves are missing on the Mini. Obviously, it's just kind of cut out there. But you also might notice that there's no thumb stud on the Mini. It just, I guess, wouldn't fit there. So that's cut out, but they both do have the flipper and the fuller. And then the last key difference is the pocket clip. So there's no pocket clip on the Mini. Just wouldn't fit there. And the pocket clip on the XL is right hand tip up only. So it's not a reversible pocket clip. Which probably makes sense. I don't think a lot of people are going to be EDCing these. So these are both kind of cleaver style knives. The XL is massive at almost 9 inches, I think 8.76 inches open, and a handle length of about 5.25 inches with a blade length of about 3.5 inches, although the cutting surface is only 3.25. So yeah, these are, I got both in orange G10. They have several different colors, all G10. Some of them are already sold out, but they still have several colors left, and of both sizes. The blade is obviously a cleaver style, 154 cm on both, and everything else, everything material-wise is going to be the same thing on both. And so the XL is kind of drop shutty just because gravity. It's huge, it weighs a lot, and so when you flip it that way, it's wanting to close, whereas the Mini, it's not so much. I have a hard time flipping this one. Let's see if I can get it first try. Oh yeah, I did. Just because it's so small, it's hard to grip onto. But this one's not gonna drop shut so much. I guess a little bit. Nah, you have to push it. I think technically you can kind of front flip this, but it's pretty hard to do just because of the size. But yeah, so I'm going to open both up so you can look at them side by side. Again, both 154 cm. The small one will fit in the handle, it will fit in the blade, and I just kind of enjoyed how ridiculous the size difference on these was. The XL barely wants to fit in the frame of my camera unless I have it this sideways. Horizontal instead of vertical, but yeah, just kind of enjoyed the difference in size in these. Neither one's super practical. The XL for sure fits well in your hand. It's got this finger choil up here. You can kind of get a really good grip on it. Definitely usable. You can use it as like a camp knife, kitchen kind of knife, for chopping things up. It's got a pretty thick blade on the top side. I think it's about 0.15 inch thick, but it comes down to a very, very fine edge. So it is really slicey and super sharp out of the box, and definitely would be good for kind of those cutting kitchen type tasks, but not a whole lot of other uses for it. The blade's like super blunt, so it's not really kind of stabby, but you can use it for kind of anything that you'd use any cleaver style knife. The Mini, not so much. There's not going to be a lot of uses for this outside of kind of package opening and that sort of thing, but it's just kind of a fun one. Definitely fits in the fifth pocket. No pocket clip, so you're definitely not going to want to drop it in your main pocket because you're just going to lose it in there. But definitely fits in the fifth pocket. They both have this kind of jimping, obviously a lot smaller on the Mini. on the large is kind of ridiculously large. But yeah, super thick. I think this is over half an inch thick for the XL. I'm not sure about the mini. Yeah, I don't think I have the thickness of the mini written down. I know the blade is 0.12 or 0.118 or something like that, and also comes down to that kind of super fine edge. But yeah, just two super fun knives. These were ones that I just kind of wanted to add to my collection because they'd make nice conversation pieces. At least at the time of this review, there's no in-between size. I'm not sure if they're going to change that down the line, but if they do, I hope they kind of continue with the ridiculous and do a full small, medium, and large, and then maybe even the double XL on the other end. Not sure they can get much smaller than the mini, but if they can, maybe a micro would be fun too. But yeah, it's super fun knives, similar to, I guess, the Kaiser Sheepdog and Mini Sheepdog, which I have one actually somewhat handy. This is a Mini Sheepdog. I don't have the larger one, but kind of a similar feel. So if there were an in-between, it's probably going to be something like this or the regular size Sheepdog. But yeah, I really enjoy these style of knives. They're not the most usable. Actually, I'd say this Mini Sheepdog is pretty usable. It's got a nice kind of Warncliffe style blade and is a reasonable size that you can carry. So I'd argue that one isn't, but definitely enjoy just kind of these funner knives that don't take themselves so seriously, and you know, you're not really going to judge against some of your other knives. They're just kind of fun things that you can share with other people that enjoy knives. But let me know what you think of them. They're pretty reasonably priced. The XL comes in, I think, at $78, and the Mini at $60. So you can get both for about $138 right now. I mean, if you have a website that do coupon codes, you might be able to get them slightly cheaper. But I haven't seen them listed cheaper without coupons. But yeah, super fun knife, super cool. I thought about doing a challenge where I carry only these two knives. But for now, I'm going to hold off on doing that, mainly because I'm testing out a lot of other knives right now, and I don't want to hinder that, and I also don't want to cheat. So I may do one down the road where I use mainly these two knives and only use other knives for testing. Obviously, I think I'll always mess around with other knives at home, but I may try and do a challenge where I carry at least the XL. The Mini might make it into my pocket every once in a while anyway, just because it's so small, but I doubt this one makes it outside of the house too much. But yeah, let me know what you think if you have either of these two knives or if you're thinking about buying them, and definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a ton, and thank you so much for watching.